And we're live.
People said they didn't learn enough about the NHL and hockey on the last PKN.
No one said that.
So we said, I saw twos of comments saying that. One was me, but to be fair.
Your fake account. We know it. Fucking Cliff Hutchinson, hockey pro over there. I saw your other account. No, I'm not going to believe that. I did after we talked the other night. One of you guys linked me to that hockey player getting his ass knocked the fuck out. What was that? So was that a dirty hit? Maybe we should pull that.
This actually is a good clip. It was one of the biggest things on Reddit.
Yeah, pull that clip up. It's this hockey player getting hit really bad. Hitting. He's getting hit.
It was a good hit, right? I only watched it once or twice. Like
that's what I'm hearing. It's a good hit because now let me ask if I know why it's a good hit. Is it because he's behind the net? No. Is it because the puck was on that side of the ice? Why is it a good hit?
Taylor, you want this or me?
Yeah, I can take. Sorry, I was trying to find the video to link it real quick. So the reason it's a good hit is as Taylor Hall's going into it. First of all, you should know that Taylor Hall is usually on the receiving end of these gigantic hits, and so it probably felt kind of good for him. But as you're watching him go in, you can see that Larson, the defenseman, has his head completely down. Has no situational awareness, which is something like if you get hit with your head down, a coach is never going to go, "Oh, poor baby, are you okay?" They're going to be, "Yeah, that's what happens when you have your head down. This is the NHL. Buck up, Buttercup." And he had his head down, and you see Taylor Hall come in. He could have lowered his shoulder and just really plowed it right into his head and really fucked him up, but he didn't do that. You can almost see his right foot come forward, slowing him down, and then he collides into the dude. And it's just the fact that this guy's on his back foot that has no stability.
Man, I'm watching this. He fucking puts. All right, maybe he didn't reach to the bottoms of the Earth's foundations for this amount of strength he threw, but he hit that guy about as fucking hard as he could hit him. Like it's this whole motion that's almost like a punch, where he's like rotating hips and shoulders going forward, and then that pad just gets underneath. It seems like it is hitting his head.
You can tell from it does hit his head some, but it's not his intent. He wasn't head hunting. He hit his head because the guy had his head down at shoulder level, and it was really like you can see Taylor Hall like usually when you finish a hit, you're not standing like this with your stick out, kind of like trying to show that you slowed yourself down. Usually you're like leaning forward, like continuing to skate away because you had all your momentum.
Maybe he heard the guy's skull bounce off the ice and he felt bad.
And then if you see the guy's skull, what happened afterward is what hurt him more than anything. Is the guy gets knocked down, and then immediately all these warriors come over like, "Oh, you can't knock my guy down like that," and they kick him in the head, and he's just unconscious there, being booted around by a bunch of professional athletes.
He does take at least 3 now skates to the head, and they weren't kicks really, but when you're knocked unconscious, probably don't want anything hitting your head at all.
Yeah, when you just suffered a pretty big blow to the head, you don't want to take 3 more kicks.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the guy did anything dirty. Like I obviously don't know the game, but it just seems to me like if he wanted to, he could have left that guy awake and still taken the puck.
It's such a fast sport. Like it looks like he's trying to hit him hard, but really that's just the nature of how fast you move in hockey.
Oh, I'm watching it from the other angle now. I don't know. It looks to me like the guy. So it looks to me like the player who got hit had this anticipation thing where he knows where the puck is what the puck is going to do after it passes him along the wall, and he's all anticipation, and he has no idea of what's going on over here to his left. It's all. He seems so, I bet if you ask him, of course, he probably lost a few seconds of his life right there. He'd be like, "No, I don't even remember if anybody was on to my left. No, nobody was." They're like, "Yeah, the guy who knocked you out, he was to your left."
That's all it takes. You because he had the puck as he got hit, so that's legal. That's all it takes is just 1 second of, "Oh, I'm kind of gathering the puck in my possession," and you have your head down looking at it like a peewee, and you just get shit rocked. I like how the goalie, Markstrom, at the end turns around and like kind of scolds the Devils fan who is trying to get video of the whole thing.
If you watch this thing, and I've seen a couple times now, I swear the hit, and oftentimes in hockey this is true, head on ice was the worst of all the hits. The kicks to the head can't help. The initial shot, to me, was like shoulder to shoulder. Like, I didn't see much of a head hunt at all. I could look at it again, and I think it's...
I agree. Hitting the ice was at least as bad as the hit, but almost certainly worse.
It's like it would be different if this was someone with any history at all of throwing dangerous hits. But if you know anything about Taylor Hall, like this,
I don't.
Yeah, he's not. You don't? No, but he's
Not a big.
I don't think he would do that. But anyway, we've already gone on hockey too long.
Yeah, far too long already.
My little joke turned into
2
a
minutes
topic
in,
again.
too much.
Though we've hit our hockey quota for the week. But yeah, I love big hits like that. It's part of the reason that it keeps you hooked watching it.
Maybe he did hit his head
get fucked.
more than I thought initially. But yeah, I still think the worst of all the hits wasn't the kick. It wasn't the initial one. It was that fall head on ice. That was, who was it? McSorley hit Brashear? Like, if Brashear had a
Donald Brashear.
Yeah, if Brashear had a proper helmet in that situation, or if he had his chin strap on, I know a lot of fighters don't, then there was another time where like McSorley was just trying to instigate a fight. He was trying to, I think earlier they had a scuffle and he was like, dude, you're an enforcer. We're enforcers. We fight. Give this to me. And Brashear was like, fuck you. You know, I choose not to engage. So McSorley was like batting him with the stick or whatever. Somehow Brashear hit his head on the ice after he like hit him and messed with him. And that was where Brashear got really, really hurt. Again, head on ice. The ice is, I guess everyone's fallen on ice. It's curiously hard. Something about ice.
Yes.
It's the hardest thing.
Have you ever slipped on just a small amount of ice and you hit your tailbone on it? Like if you're trying to walk across like a puddle that's frozen over or a pond or something, like it's shockingly painful because you're just like,
hard as a rock.
Fuck.
Like it doesn't give at all. There's no give in ice. It's a rock. It's a fucking solid. The fact that it used to be water means nothing. Like it's just a fucking rock now.
Honestly, it was a major oversight to make such a physical sport and play it on ice.
I was thinking, like one of the things I was thinking about this hit and everything, like earlier today. Like one of the things the UFC does right is the octagon floor is more padded than you might guess.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's bouncy and there's some padding, and it's really tractiony. Like it'll tear your skin up. But
I don't like. So that's whenever I think that's one of the things that I know because I've been on it that most people don't realize. When I'm watching them grapple. And they're doing quick like moves on the ground where say your ankle has to slide across the mat or you know the part of your wrist that's really bony there on the end or your elbow, it's giving them super rug burn. It is sanding the flesh off their body, and they're often forced to do that sort of thing. They're often have like parts of them ground into it, or they're putting all of their weight plus someone else's weight on a joint that's getting slid around on it for traction.
So awful.
It sounds terrible because it is. But you don't even think about it because in the meantime, they're throwing elbows, fucking cutting each other's faces open and you know, bashing each other so bad that the rug burn loses. But if you watch at the end of the fight, you'll see this really bad rug burn.
They're all scraped up everywhere. Yeah, but you need a lot of traction to do some of the stuff they're doing, all this takedowns and takedown defense and stuff. UFC has their floor right. Hockey, on the other hand, really didn't think it through.
They did not.